Hi, welcome back to the Steak and Brush for Skin Week Part 3. Before we get into it, as always, if I could ask you to like this video if you're watching it, it really helps bring up my numbers and share. It helps more people hear about me so my channel can grow. If you can also subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and hit the little bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a new video. And you can find me at Instagram at steak_and_brush. Okay, so we're back into it. This is part 3 of Skincare Week, where I am going to show you my PM routine for skincare. I strongly suggest you watch at the very least part 1, where I go over most of the things that I use, just what the ingredients are, what they're for, how they help, that kind of thing. Right here, we're just really going to show you how I use them. So it's the end of the night, I've got my full face of makeup on, and I'm ready to just about go to bed. So I'm gonna, as always, put on my little cloth here to keep everything out of my hair. My ears out there so I'm comfortable. Okay, first thing I do is I'm going to do a double cleanse. Now, a double cleanse entails doing a oil and a water-based cleanser. The first thing I'm going to use is an oil-based cleanser, so that it will take off my makeup very easily without having to tug, excuse me, without having to tug or, you know, create any kind of strain that might be harsh to my skin. I don't want to create more wrinkles or anything like that just by cleaning my face. There are 2 basic types of products that you can use for this. You can use an actual oil, or you can use a balm. I prefer the oils. This one is simple. I got it on Amazon. It's very cheap. I want to say this is $8. I've had this for quite a while. The other type of product you can use is a balm. This is just a sample I got from Good Molecules when I ordered some other things in their line. A balm, I don't know if this will show how much detail this will show here, because it's just white inside there too. But you kind of bring it out in a chunk, and as you rub it, it sort of liquefies, and you can rub it all over your face. There are a couple reasons I don't like the balms as much. Some people swear by them. I know that Cliniques Take the Day Off people love. I believe Drunk Elephant has one, because Drunk Elephant has everything. I don't like the texture. But if I'm traveling, this is easier to travel with than this, because 1, I'm worried it'll spill everywhere. 2, I've dropped it and created a little hole in there, so I know it's going to spill all over everything, so I'm not taking this when I travel. But for this, actually, I'm going to need my microfiber cloth, so I'm going to go ahead and get it wet. Normally I do this step in the bathroom, but since I didn't want to bring all of this into my bathroom, I have a bowl of water over here so that I can get this nice and wet and clean. Alright, so I'm just going to take my cleansing liquid here and pour a little bit in my hands, and then I'm just going to rub it all over my face. And I am doing this very, very gently. Just to show you how gently, I'm going to use my ring finger right here just to show you. You do not need to press hard. Now, instinct probably is to press hard because you think it's going to come off easier. You really don't need to, so don't put the extra stress on your skin. Just rub it gently around for a few moments. I can usually gauge it by feeling for my mascara. I can kind of tell when it's come off. This does not hurt your eyes. You can open your eyes with it. If you get it in, it doesn't burn. The only thing it might make if you wear contacts, might make them cloudy a little bit. But then, as you can see, it makes a nice little raccoon eyes. But then I'm just very gently wiping it all off. Now this will leave beautiful marks on your on your microfiber cloth, but for the most part those will wash out. Sometimes they might stain. It's okay, it's just a cloth. I tried to get my have white and gray. I brought out the gray one for this video because I didn't want you to see how horribly stained some of them are from bright red lipsticks. Okay, and you know, if I don't get absolutely everything off, that's okay because we're going to do a double cleanse. The main part of the goal of this was just to get the makeup off. Of course, now my water is not very clean, but it'll do for right now for what I'm showing you here. Okay, next step, just as I did earlier, I'm going in with my rip off of Clairsonic that actually is not Sonic. It is a spin brush. Bought it off Amazon for like 20 bucks. And I'm going to go in with my water-based cleanser, which is right now Glam Glow. You do not have to have any kind of special awesome cleaner unless your dermatologist or doctor really recommends it, or if you have a specific skincare need that needs it. But anti-aging, that kind of stuff is not going to, a cleanser is not going to help you. So we're just going to go in here just like I do for the AM. I'm just going to gently rub this back and forth over my eyebrows, under my eye, very gently so I'm not pulling any skin. You'll notice most of the things, actually everything that I put on my face in the morning, I put on my face in the evening, with the exception of sunscreen. I'm just going to add a few extra steps in here and there. And most of the things I'm going to add are going to be my heavy hitters that are really there to help anti-age. And don't forget the neck. Yeah, just need a nice gentle cleanse, especially since we got all that stuff out and all the makeup off. There's no need to press real hard. But I don't know if you can see, there's, even after we did that cleanse, there's still a little bit of grime on there. Okay, sorry if the angle's off a little bit. My camera just fell over. Alright, so it's now time to wipe everything off. Again, just like I did before, I'm not rubbing hard. There is no need to do a hard scrub. Just need to wash off everything. I usually do a quick look to make sure any eyeliner or anything is out of my water line there. Sometimes those things get missed a little bit. Just very gently. And one last swipe over the eyelashes. This oil, any of these oils or these balms will also get off your waterproof mascara. They might be the only thing that gets off your waterproof mascara. So if you're using that and you're really struggling, switch over to an oil. Alright, next thing, we're going to go in and tone again. Just like in the AM, soaps can make your pH levels unbalanced. We're going in with this to balance it back up. And just on a wet clean cotton swab, just go through and do this. Now you may also think there are a lot of steps to cleaning and taking care of your skin. I sometimes forget steps, so what I have taken to doing is I lay out all of my skincare that I'm using, whether it's AM or PM, and I lay it all out, and as I'm done with each item, then I put it back in my drawer that I keep it in so that I know I have done it. Alright, on about once every 2 weeks, I do a peeling solution. This is the Ordinary AHA 30% BHA 2%. You see this? This is not one of the nights that I'm going to be doing this, but I want to show you that this is the step where if I were going to do it, I would put this in here. But since I'm not going to do that, we'll skip that. I do also keep out my, I think these are like called Tinkle razors or any other kind of little razor. It's just a little bit of a razor right there. I could go over it like this and not hurt myself, but it, you know, if you shave like this. Because I've lost some dexterity and some strength in my hand due to illness, I can't pluck my eyebrows. I use this time of night or in the morning sometimes before everything, right after I've toned, that I will go in there, and since I can't pluck, I will just sometimes shave away anything that needs to be done. Since I need to be close to a mirror, I'm not going to do that, but I did just want to show you that this is kind of when I do that and what I use for that. Alright, my next step is a chemical exfoliator. This is the Ordinary's Lactic Acid 10%. I would not start with this. I would start with their, I think they have a 5%. And with any of these products, I do want to preface this. With any of these products, don't go out and buy all this stuff and put it all on your skin in one night. I would start product by product, and I would start with the more gentle things, like the things I use in the AM. Try one product at a time, use it for a week or so, make sure you have no reactions. Then add a second one in. Slowly build yourself up, build your skin's tolerance. Also, when you're adding one ingredient in at a time, if you do have a reaction, then you know what you're having a reaction to. If you put all of these things on your face first thing when you've never tried any of them, you're probably going to have some problems. Even if it's not like an allergic reaction or something that you have, just probably by putting all of this stuff on here, it's way too much for your skin to take at once. So start out with baby steps. Alright, so I'm going to go in with my lactic acid first. I do this because I want my ingredients, my hard-hitting ingredients, to get into my skin. So anything that this may take off, you know, may peel back, that's great. Alright, so I just put a couple droppers full in here. I'm just going to rub it just a little bit, just so I get it on both hands. And I'm going to put it in all my places, down my neck and in my chest area. And then I'm going to lightly rub it in. Again, I've been doing this for a while, so I don't have any problems taking it up under my eyes or on my eyelids. Do not do that the first time you try it. You need to make sure that you're not going to have any reactions on your regular skin before you take it into areas that are more sensitive. I'm just going to lightly rub that in until you're going to get a little bit of a tacky feeling to it. And then I'm going to rub back of my hands, because I want to keep them looking good too, because these are where you'll start to show aging as well. The next thing I use is my retinol. This is the Ordinary's retinol. It's the Granactive Retinoid 2% Emulsion. Now, if you watch my first video, there's retinoids, retinols, retinols. This is not actually retin A. This is a derivative of it. They've mixed it with other things. So when it says 2%, this is not the same as like 2% of retin A. This is much, much less of the active ingredient. This is a great thing to start out with if you have never used any kind of retinol product in the past. Now, I am almost out of this. Actually, I've ordered another bottle, but I've got on the way prescription retin A or tretinoin. So it's coming, and I probably will be stepping up to that, and I will be easing into that. Even though I've been using this every night for months now, I'm going to start, you know, once a week for about a month, and then twice a week for a month, and 3 times a week for a month, and I'm going to step it up because, you know, these heavy hitters can cause issues, especially when you first try them a lot, especially your retinols. They can cause some peeling, some redness. It can dry out your skin a bit, so you need to ease into them so you're not having those problems. So I barely have any of this left. I probably won't have enough to bring down my neck and chest, but I'm just going to get my skin with this. And just in case you didn't watch my other 2 videos, which you really should, the order you should put your serums on your face is you should start with everything that is watery first. As you can see, these are all very, very clear. They don't have a lot of substance to them because you want them to get into the skin. If you put something that is very creamy or oily on first, it's going to be harder for those things to actually seep through it and get into your skin. Okay, the next 2 things I'm going to use, do I have the right one here? Yes. Okay, I am actually going to mix my Super Peptide Serum from Good Molecules. This is very much like the Ordinary's Buffet, the Inkyless Peptide. These are my, my amino acids and my proteins. I'm going to mix that with my EGF Serum from Revolution. Again, this is the only cheap company that I have found to sell this. Everything else I found for the EGF is, you know, between $50 and $100 at least. I'm just going to take a couple drops of each. And the EGF serum, there's not, some people say it doesn't do anything, and some say it really helps. So I'm willing to pay $10, $15 for something that might help. I'm not willing to pay $100 for something that might help. Okay, just lightly gonna rub it together, just enough so I get it mixed and I get it all over. But I don't want to rub it in too much because I don't want it going into my hands. I want it on my face. So just like the others, very lightly, rubbing it everywhere. Once I've acclimated to it and can bring it up around my eyes. These things are, you know, these 2 serums, there's nothing in it that really should sting your face or anything. The lactic acid sometimes can a little bit. And if the retinol, I haven't had it, but sometimes it can, some people have had some issues with it, but it should not be bad at all. If it's bad, if you have any bad stinging, take it off right away. You know, it's not worth it. I will say this, the ABH peeling solution, it might tingle a little bit, but I have noticed sometimes when I put some of the later things on after it, they'll tingle a little bit more than they normally do, just because you're exposing newer skin to it. But it still shouldn't be painful. If anything's painful, don't do it. You know, stop it immediately. Talk to a dermatologist. Don't keep doing it. All right, so we've got those in. The next thing I'm going to do, I've actually switched this up a little bit recently, and I used to do my, oh, you know what? I mixed the wrong things. It doesn't matter, but I used to just put on my vitamin C serum. It's actually a vitamin C suspension, 30% in silicone, so it's more of a creamy texture. And I used to put this on my face alone, but it's thicker, and sometimes it would pill. And I noticed because it was a little harder to spread it around, I was getting more of my nails in it, and I realized my fingernails were turning orange, and it took me a while to realize it's the vitamin C that was doing that. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll switch over to just a clear serum that's easier, but I do like this until I want to believe it, I think it was Mrs. Melissa M that she recommended if you're doing a vitamin C serum, add one of your other serums to it, your liquidy ones. I usually do the hyaluronic acid. This time I guess I grabbed the niacidimide, but we're gonna mix those together, and that takes care of that problem. Both it spreads easier, and I haven't gotten the orange fingernails. So I just use a little dollop there, you can see. That's actually plenty. I could probably even do with a little less. And I take my dropper here, and I'm going to add the same amount that I always do, just a couple drops. And then this I do need to mix up just a little bit more. Okay. And then with the same thing, I'm going to rub it everywhere that I would the other things. And vitamin C is really good for sunspots and discoloration, so I really make sure I get it in those areas that I have discoloration. Vitamin C is one of those ingredients that can be if you're going to have some tingling or a little bit of stinging, sometimes it can be the vitamin C. So make sure you're using that accordingly. And this is a thicker consistency, so I do leave this is, towards the end of my nighttime routine, because other things might not get through it. Although it does help watering it down a bit. I was using I actually still am, I just ran out of it, the Inky List CoQ10, but I've run out of that and the new stuff hasn't gotten here yet. So this would be where I put that in. This, I don't know if it's going to stay in my regime or not. I've just started recently using this. This is an all-in-one Snail repair cream from Mizon. I've heard a lot about Snail cream, and a lot of it's really good. It's supposed to help a lot for redness. I don't have a lot of redness, but they do say it can help with some sunspots and healing. So I've been trying it out. This wasn't very expensive. It was like $16 on Amazon, and I barely, I can do this with, I don't want it to fall out. I've barely gone through much, but just gonna put that on. So I'm trying this out. I'll let you know, I'll update you guys, when this is empty, whether or not I'm going to repurchase or not. But this is something I have added. If you are into only vegan skincare and makeup, you do not want this. It is actual, derived from the snail mucus stuff. This brand, they claim it's cruelty-free, where they extract it in a humane way, where they do not harm the snails when they get it. Some companies will admit to doing questionable things to snails to get it. So if that is something that you're concerned about, make sure you research that as well. And if you have kind of, if you have oily skin, this might be enough as a moisturizer. I have normal, right now it's pretty normal, but it does tend to get dry sometimes. So I do go in with another moisturizer. Don't feel that you need to add moisturizer in at the end of these things just because you haven't put moisturizer on. If any of your products are giving you enough moisture, you can stop there. They can count, they can work double duty. You don't pack products on just to pack products on. Only pack them on if they are doing something for you. The moisturizer I am using at this time is the CeraVe PM Facial Moisturizing Lotion. It has, just like the AM, it has ceramides, niacidimide, and hyaluronic acid in it. I do not use nearly as much as I do in the morning. I have to put this down to pump it out because my hands are slippery. I usually only use a pump, maybe two. I mean, maybe in the winter I'll use more, but because of that snail cream, I don't need a lot. Because you also don't want to go to bed feeling like you have a greasy face. But we just kind of want to lock in the moisture and all of those ingredients that we put in before. Okay, and then my final step of the night, if I can get that closed, is taking care of my lips. There are all kinds of things, like there's a Laneige lip sleeping mask I want to try. All kinds of things like that right now, but right now I'm just using, this is a Younique lip balm. It's pretty much like a chapstick except a little heavier, and I just put it on every night to help moisturize, especially if I've been wearing a drying liquid lip or something that, you know, it dries out my lips. I want to add the moisturizer in. I like the Balm because it's heavier and it keeps the moisture in a little longer. So, you know, take care of your lips just like you're taking care of your skin. But that is my nightly routine. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them here for me. If you have any suggestions, let me know too. I love finding new products, so let me know what you're using, what you like better, you know, anything like that. Go ahead and let me know. But for tonight, that's all I have for you. I want to thank you so much for joining me here and choosing to spend your time with me. And until next time, I hope you have a great evening. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.